Here's what taking the oil drain plug out is like normally. You always end up getting oil all over your hands or tool that you're removing the plug with. And here's the same oil drain with the AGA Tools clean oil drain plug and the manual drain adapter, which will screw onto the plug itself. And once that's there, then we'll go ahead and screw in the bottom part of the plug or the adapter. And there you go, clean hands. Now, I don't know about you, but one of the things I hate most about doing an oil change is when you pull out the drain plug, you get oil all over your hands or tools. And in fact, in my oil drain or oil change video, I've actually shown how sometimes I use a plastic bag to try and shield the tool from getting oil in it. So when I saw the AGA Tools clean oil drain plug and how that can save me from all of that mess, I immediately ordered some for the BMW 328D wagon and M2 competition over there. So let's take a closer look at the nifty AGA clean oil drain plug. As you can see, this comes in some pretty simple packaging, right? A plastic bag with the plug itself and a nice information card. And the information card basically tells you how to install it. You take the clean oil drain plug, you unscrew the finger tight cap in order to expose the 17mm wrench flats, and then you go ahead and screw that into your oil pan. Now, it does say here on the information card, do not exceed 28 Newton meters or 20 foot-pounds. But what commonly happens too is your drain plug might not have a torque spec that high. So for example, right, on a lot of the BMWs like my 328D as well as my M2 competition, the drain plug torque is only 24 Newton meters, in which case when I install this, I should only do 24 Newton meters. Or if you're one of the guys with the rear-wheel drive N20, N26, you have a plastic oil pan, in which case the torque spec is only 8 Newton meters, so you would only use 8 Newton meters on this installing it. I find it a little bit funny that they specify the 60 centinewton meters or 5.3 inch-pounds for the dust cap that goes on there, and you know, even so that they put the torque spec on the cap itself, because that's really just finger tight. You know, just go ahead and screw that on there till it stops, and that's basically what that torque spec is, but I guess that's precision for you. On the back side of the information card, they even have instructions where if you were to just use this like a regular drain plug, like let's say you don't have the appropriate coupling drain tool for it, how to use this like a regular drain plug where you just remove the plug itself. So they really kind of made this easy for even dummies like me. In addition to the base M12 by 1.5, which most of my BMWs use, AGA also makes this in a variety of other sizes, and here I've got a M18 by 1.5 and an M20 by 1.5. These are for a friend's vehicle who, when he also saw it, he said, hey, add me to your order. So they do cover a wide range of threads that you may have, not just on your BMWs. Some unique things about the AGA clean oil drain plug is you can see here that it's got this skipped thread, and it's also got this side port in it. This one has side ports on both sides, it looks like. And what that is to do is that's going to help the oil flow into the plug and out of the drain, even when this thing is all the way screwed in. You know, if you take a look at my 328D oil pan where I put this in, you can see that, you know, the threads stick up way above the base of the oil pan. So if I didn't have that skipped thread and that side port, well, you know, there's a considerable amount of oil that wouldn't be able to drain out if it had to flow over the very top of the threads. So this helps, you know, drain as much oil as possible out of the system. And this is something when I've looked at other competing products or similar products, they don't seem to have. One of the other unique things about the AGA clean oil drain plug is just how thin the head is here. And on the right I have my stock oil drain plug from my 328D, and the head thickness on that is 4.5 millimeters. And the dust cap plus the head thickness of the AGA clean oil drain plug is only 10 millimeters. Now, you know, you might think, oh, that doesn't seem like a big issue, but there have been other folks, especially in the BMW community, that have used competing products that stick out quite a bit more and have actually had their drain device ripped out when they went over something like a speed bump. And obviously that's catastrophic because, well, there goes all your oil while you're in the middle of the road. Now, as we saw earlier, in order to use the clean oil drain plug, we have to use the manual drain tool as well. I mean, they have a version of this drain tool that's meant for an actual fluid pump, so you can be actively pumping out the oil from the sump. However, that is a lot more expensive, and I don't think it's something a home DIYer like myself would be using. But anyways, you can see for the manual version, it's really just the fitting itself that interfaces to the drain plug. So they screw together, and you can see, right, the O-ring on the drain plug itself will prevent any oil from leaking out of the top. And then once you've screwed that together, then you can screw in this lower part, which then engages on the needle valve inside of the drain plug to open up and allow the oil to come out cleanly into this tube. And of course, since this is just a barb fitting, you can replace the tube with whatever you want. So I guess one thing you could try is attaching this tube to a topside pump and maybe trying to pump out the oil that way. Another thing that's really nice about this is the oil doesn't start flowing until you've screwed in this bottom part all the way. So if I were to, unscrew this for whatever reason, like let's say actually I want to take just an oil sample for Blackstone or something, right? I could hook this up, screw this in to engage the valve, let enough drain out into my little sample tube, and then back this out to cut off the oil flow. So that's another area where this could be pretty handy. Unfortunately, convenience does come at a cost, and the price of a clean oil drain plug plus the manual drain tool isn't insignificant. In fact, it's flat out more expensive than the competition. That said, the competition isn't nearly as low profile as the AGA clean oil drain plug, where you don't have to worry about it getting sheared off from rough terrain, road surface, speed bumps, whatever. With AGA tools, you're getting a product that's going to work well and the quality is there. In fact, there are BMW dealers in the tens that have decided to install the clean oil drain plug in their new and used vehicle inventory. So you could already be buying a vehicle that comes with this. And even more interesting is, rumor has it, BMW North America and Germany are considering whether to install the clean oil drain plug from the factory. So that says a huge amount about how good these products are.